name is Debbie Monterrey, and I am the co-host of Total Information AM on KMOX in the mornings, and also the Charlie Brennan Show after that, so I do not one but two shows, which means that I am awake very early in the morning, but you're probably, some of you, just wrapping up your dinner in Shanghai or in Singapore. And you can listen online, by the way, while you do that, KMOX.com worldwide. Pleased to note that KMOX has been a growing global media sponsor from the very beginning. And to be here now, emceeing again on the 20th anniversary of World Trade Center St. Louis, I am just thrilled to see the importance that our community is placing on connecting with people and businesses from around the globe. Thank you for being here on this 20th anniversary. It's a record crowd, so thank you all for taking the time to be here. I gauged it by the fact that I had to park at the very top of the parking garage. Anybody else? It's like, wow, there's a lot of people here today. So those of us on the top row will get to know each other while we wait to leave today. But before we get started with today's program, I just would like to acknowledge some very special people and the sponsors who made today's luncheon possible. First, let's recognize the World Trade Center St. Louis Board of Directors. Now, these are some very, very busy, very skilled people who are very talented, and they help ensure the success of the organization and the St. Louis community. Now, each member of the board is listed in your program, so please check that out when you have time. Because there are 18 of them and our time is limited, I won't name them all, but they are there in your program. So as a group, though, if you could all stand up so that we could just give you a round of applause and let you know how we truly appreciate all of the work that you do for World Trade Center St. Louis. Thank you so much. Each year, Growing Global attracts an ever-expanding roster of sponsors who really see the value in the work that's being done here. And this year, the World Trade Center St. Louis is grateful for the support of leading companies who lend their name and their resources to help make this happen and get bigger and better every year, and to further the mission, of course, of the World Trade Center St. Louis. So this year, Growing Global sponsors include our media sponsors, the St. Louis Business Journal and the Voice of St. Louis, the Voice of the Cardinals and the Voice of the Blues, KMOX Radio. Our global sponsor, Kit Bond Strategies. Our international sponsors, America's Central Port, Anheuser-Busch Companies, Belden, BKD, Boeing, Brian Cave, the Clark Fox Family Foundation, CBiz, Cushman & Wakefield, Gateway Commercial Real Estate, Edward Jones, Emerson, Essex Industries, F-Stop, HSBC Bank, Monsanto, Novus, International, Peabody Energy, Sigma Aldrich, the newly formed St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, and the University of Missouri-Columbia. So those are a fantastic roster of sponsors. We thank them. We would also like to thank our domestic sponsors, AAA Translation, Nestle Purina, Polsinelli, the St. Louis Regional Chamber, and Webster University. Also our in-kind sponsor, the Boeing Institute of International Business at St. Louis University. One additional exciting in-kind sponsorship, and this will be fun for all of you as well. This is from Southwest Airlines, the largest airline operating at Lambert International, and with destinations to Mexico and the Caribbean, the one true international carrier. Southwest has generously donated 2 round-trip tickets to any destination. And would you like to know if you won these? Here's what you do. Someone in the audience today actually has a Southwest card inside the F-Stop camera bag at your place. So if you haven't looked in those yet, look in there now, and if you have a Southwest card, you have won 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere. And please stand up shouting if it's you, so we know where you are. Who's got it? Right over here. If you know him, make friends, he'll take you somewhere. So congratulations, and thank you, Southwest Airlines. That was a fun little treat. Southwest Airlines represented today by their Executive Vice President, Ron Ricks. Is Ron with us? Ron Ricks, Southwest Airlines. And if I didn't mention your name, please know that you have contributed greatly to today's success, and thank you for being here. Now, all of our sponsors are identified again in your program, so take it home and study it. The World Trade Center and everyone at Growing Global would like to say thank you very much. All right, it is now my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of World Trade Center St. Louis. You've heard a little bit about him already. He's a humble guy, but he's got a lot of important things to tell us. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tim Nowak.
Thank you, Debbie. Gee, how do you top that, Southwest Airlines? I've got no tickets. I got nothing to give away. Thanks so much. Happy to follow you. No, thank you, Debbie. And I just want to thank County Executive Dooley really quick for your mention of the 2014 Eisenhower Fellowship. I'm honored. I truly am humbled. But I'd also like to thank and acknowledge the local members of the Eisenhower Steering Committee, some of whom are here with us today, including Ed Monzer, Kathy Osborne, and Chris Chadwick. And I cannot let this opportunity pass without mentioning that St. Louis received 2 Eisenhower Fellowship appointments. Many of you may already know Rhonda Broussard. She is the founder and president of the St. Louis Language Immersion Schools. She is a friend and a 2010 Leadership St. Louis classmate. And now she, too, is an Eisenhower Fellow. Rhonda, will you stand up briefly? You see, that worked. I emailed Rhonda earlier this week. I said, you need to be at the luncheon. Thanks for coming, Rhonda. Each year, Growing Global gives us an opportunity to highlight St. Louis's progression as a partner engaged on the world stage. Recently, the Brookings Institute published their report titled The 10 Traits of a Globally Fluent Metro Area. It is a report that provides the framework for local leaders to gauge their local starting point and measure their own success. The traits have proven to be particularly strong determinants of a metro area's ability to succeed in foreign markets, manage the consequences of globalization, and better secure its desired economic future. Few, if any, cities excel in all 10 areas, but I'd like to highlight 3 of the more important traits, and on this, our 20-year anniversary, measure our own global position, looking at just how far we've come since 1993, and more importantly, where we're going. The first 2 traits, in our case, are intricately connected. Leadership with a worldview and a culture of knowledge and innovation. Local leaders with a worldview, a long-term vision, and a focus on regional coordination have the greatest potential for building their city's global fluency. St. Louis's international profile has benefited from the leadership of 2 individuals who we will honor later today for their vision in founding the World Trade Center St. Louis. And influential men and women with a shared worldview have risen throughout this region to embrace the economic opportunities and prosperity awaiting a globally competitive and connected community. Strong leaders at the St. Louis Regional Chamber, Civic Progress, the Regional Business Council, the CVC, the Economic Development Partnership, local universities, and others have formed an alliance to lead this region in the Mosaic Project, a strategy to make St. Louis the fastest growing metropolitan area for immigration by 2020. People remain the most important ingredient to any community. Local leaders recognized this fact when they commissioned 2 studies to measure the economic impact of immigration on St. Louis and to identify key initiatives to jumpstart growth. What we learned was compelling. While St. Louis's foreign-born community is highly educated and significantly more entrepreneurial, it is much smaller when compared to other metro areas around the U.S. A culture of knowledge and innovation requires the highest levels of human capital. Those who can attract and retain the best and the brightest from around the globe are better prepared to compete in a global economy that is dominated by information, technology, and new ideas. The Mosaic Project is shaping our future by welcoming and integrating newcomers and new talent to this region. And it's already bearing fruit with an unprecedented response, both locally and nationally. While the path toward this goal is neither quick nor easy, it is our shared economic imperative. A third trait of a globally fluent metro area is government as a global enabler. Federal, state, and local governments have a unique and complementary role to play in enabling firms and cities to go global. We heard today from Governor Nixon as the state of Missouri embarks on a truly best practices export initiative. This is a concrete example that international trade and engagement are a priority in Missouri. The partnership we've developed is providing a streamlined approach to help guide and prepare businesses for success in new markets. And locally, St. Louis Mayor Francis Slay and St. Louis County Executive Charlie Dooley, through their unified support of the World Trade Center, have exerted tremendous influence in developing the international strategies for city and county economic development. With their support, the World Trade Center St. Louis is the local partner for the Export Missouri Initiative, providing training and market research to increase the pipeline of local firms engaged in global trade. And I'll include, as a part of that training, our Chancellor's Certificate in International Trade in partnership with the University of Missouri St. Louis. And together, they have opened the doors for many regional business delegations in overseas markets and routinely open their own doors to properly receive the many international dignitary and business leaders who visit our own city, promoting St. Louis as a destination for international business investment. All of this work is yielding measurable results. In 2012, St. Louis regional exports climbed 19% to a staggering $14.6 billion. St. Louis is now the 22nd largest export market in the United States. Now, growing global is challenging. Macroeconomic forces such as regulation, free trade agreements, and immigration laws are still beyond the control of any one given community. But, according to Brookings, cities that prioritize global engagement will, over time, seize its benefits, including increased exports, increased foreign investment, international visitors and students, human capital, and playing an active role in international networks that foster innovation. In short, the more globally fluent and connected St. Louis becomes, the better able we are to control our own destiny. One important step toward this effort began in 1993 with the launch of the World Trade Center St. Louis. 20 years later, I'd say we're making good progress. Thank you for your continued support and for all that you do, each and every one of you do, to promote St. Louis on the world stage.
This year, more than any other year, is a unique opportunity to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the World Trade Center St. Louis.
The World Trade Center is an amazing organization.
The World Trade Center St. Louis plays an important role in supporting civic initiatives of an international nature.
The World Trade Center is the only organization in the St. Louis area that can provide the solutions for companies to go global.
The World Trade Center St. Louis is unique.
Back in 1993, to have the foresight to establish the World Trade Center right at that time is remarkable.
Back then, there were actually two separate organizations. There was the Center for International Relations, which covered the sister cities, and then there was the World Trade Center, so there was a twofold organization.
Various people had the idea to bring those together, and this began a great partnership between the county and the city and the entire region.
And what we're seeing now are the fruits of that original decision.
The World Trade Center St. Louis is a very effective partner with St. Louis companies.
One of the first efforts that we started looking into was international cargo activity here at Lambert. We reached out to the World Trade Center and they immediately came to the plate and started offering their assistance.
The other side of World Trade Center is to enable our companies and our institutions to be effective in global commerce.
They're very good engaging with St. Louis business leaders.
They helped finance both the roller bed system in there as well as the camera system. So now when we're showing cargo companies who are coming into St. Louis what we have to offer, we've got a fantastic building that's not just a great structure, but it's got the infrastructure within.
They serve a very important function in getting involved in international activities to support business aims of St. Louis companies.
And so this is very much about economic development. This is very much about the future of our region.
The manufacturing industries are here, the cultural institutions, the educational institutions that are here are part of a global community.
In tonight's American Journey, one city's plan to try to attract more immigrants. St. Louis, Missouri has far fewer immigrants than other U.S. cities of its size, but a program called the Mosaic Project is trying to change that.
St. Louis wants to be an opening and welcoming community, and that's what we're going to do.
Our goal is to be one of the top 10 cities in America in terms of increase of population of foreign-born residents by the year 2020. That's our goal.
With all the international programs that are being put in place, I think this region is going to see an exponential growth in international business.
The World Trade Center St. Louis is an extraordinary opportunity to go from where we are today to even new heights.
On a business note, I think the World Trade Center has been great to us. On a personal note, they're fun people, and I think that also plays an important role in how they interact with the community in the region.
The future represents tremendous opportunity for businesses, for our region, and the World Trade Center is going to be a worthy partner to seize those opportunities.
Everyone in St. Louis is going to get to know this as the international city of St. Louis.
All right, how about some good news for a change? And how about if we give away some hardware now? It is my distinct pleasure to announce the recipients of World Trade Center St. Louis's Global Awards. Now, our first award this afternoon is the 2013 Global Ambassador Award. As with last year, the World Trade Center has dedicated a tree in the name of the award winner on Government Hill near the World's Fair Pavilion in Forest Park. Now, the trees represent the efforts made by each recipient to grow St. Louis's image as a global center. Are you going to help me give these away? All right, come on up. This year, the Global Ambassador Award is presented to co-recipients, Mr. Denny Coleman, CEO of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, and Mr. Zolt Rumi, Chairman, CEO, and President of Zoltec Companies. Now, in 1993, Mr. Coleman, then President and CEO of the St. Louis County Economic Council, and Mr. Rumi, Chair of the Economic Council Board of Directors, founded the World Trade Center St. Louis as the regional organization for international economic development. Now, their vision couldn't have been better timed. Following the collapse of the Berlin Wall and the opening of many Central and Eastern European markets, that second wave of globalization beginning in the early 1990s really ushered in economic opportunity through the increased international flows of goods, capital, and people. Companies and communities found themselves mandatory participants in this new global marketplace, and Mr. Coleman and Mr. Rumi understood that while all cities were affected by globalization, not all were really seizing its benefits and opportunities. So to do this, St. Louis had to build a brand outside of the United States, encourage the support of new trade activity and investment, and generate a new and diverse array of job opportunities tied to global rather than just national economies. By launching World Trade Center St. Louis, the region responded with a clear vision and a strategy for global engagement and economic growth. For your combined commitment and dedication to international trade and your efforts in ensuring the St. Louis region has a global reach, we are proud to honor Denny Coleman and Zolt Rumi as World Trade Center's Global Ambassadors for 2013.
So my name is Andy Whipple. I'm not Zolt Rumi. Don't know if I had to point that out. But on behalf of Zolt Rumi, I'm accepting this award. Unfortunately, having me accept this award versus Zolt means I won't have half as colorful stories in my speech, but I'll give it my best shot. So Zolt regrets not being here today, but as we announced this morning, Zoltech has agreed to be acquired by Toray Industries out of Japan, and Zolt had to travel to Japan in order to consummate the deal. As Zolt noted in our press release this morning, and I quote, "This transaction represents a great result for our shareholders, customers, and employees. Toray provides unique opportunities to drive the continued growth of our commercial carbon fiber business well into the future." I think this announcement also represents a great tribute to the mission statement of the World Trade Center, which is to develop a comprehensive international agenda for this region. Zolt has lived this mission by working with companies and governmental bodies both here in Missouri and in the United States and throughout the rest of the world, including extensive work in Hungary and in Mexico, where Zoltech's two largest operations are located. Zolt had a vision back in 1993 for both this organization and his own. He wanted to commercialize carbon fiber worldwide and knew he needed a base of support here in the St. Louis region to get that done. Examples of specific support include the newest operations out in St. Peters, Missouri, which produces our newest products, which can contribute to the lightweighting of wind turbine blades, which also allows for the great efficiencies in the generation of alternative energy. Governor Jay Nixon was able to be at our opening ceremony for that facility and has been a great supporter of our company and its expansion needs. I think the mission of the World Trade Center, as contemplated 20 years ago, was right on point, and Zolt and Zoltech are living examples of the benefits that this relationship can produce. So at this point, I think I'm supposed to tell you the story about how Zolt was able to purchase a bankrupt plant in Hungary and convince skeptical investors to follow his vision for the commercialization of carbon fiber worldwide, but I'm afraid I'm out of time. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much, Dennis and Tim. This is and to the entire board of directors of the World Trade Center. It's a wonderful honor. But Tim, I have to ask, I mean, I really appreciate the tree planting, but did you have to pick a bald cypress for me? I mean, really. But seriously, it is an honor, and it's a great honor to receive this award with Zolt Rumi. Andy, colorful, to be put it mildly. If you all want the real story, the acquisition of the franchise, I'll be in the bar afterwards, and for the price of one small bourbon, I'll tell you the real story. But it was an interesting experience. It's one thing to create a vision. It's another thing to plan it out and execute that vision. And one of the first things that Zolt wanted us to do was to look and research around the country as to what was working. There were other World Trade Centers. And it became clear that in some regions of the country, Denver, Boston, Twin Cities, and others that I visited, the regions that decided to make a big real estate play out of this wound up with big empty buildings. The regions that really wanted to provide services, particularly to the small and medium-sized business community, to enhance their opportunities for success in international business. And the ones that partnered with their international companies were the ones that were successful. And that's the vision that we embarked upon. But like I said, vision only goes so far. It has to be executed. And Tim, to you and to Dennis, the great staff and board of directors of the World Trade Center, through the support of the mayor and the county executive, that has been done beautifully. It has resulted in terrific economic development benefit for the entire St. Louis metropolitan area. So thank you. I'm very honored by this award, but keep up the great work. You are part of a key ingredient of the future of the St. Louis economy. Thank you, and God bless you all.
And thank you once again to Denny Coleman and to Zolt Rumi, and of course the part of Zolt Rumi being played today by Andy Whipple. Our second award this afternoon is the 2013 Global Growth Award, Problem Solving and Innovation. Successfully tackling those two subjects can launch a company to success and international growth. President and CEO Seth Burgett and COO Richard Daniels of Earbuds saw a commonly used product that was in dire need of an update. They brought with them extensive knowledge of surgical devices and ergonomics to create a product that truly worked. Sports earphones that actually stay in your ears and don't hurt. In 2009, only 1 year after its inception, Earbuds was named Forbes' 9th most promising company in America. And since then, they've received multiple awards for their product, marketing, and their entrepreneurship. Fortunately for Earbuds, that was just as large in other international markets. The product really took off. In Singapore, for example, one store sold 162 pairs of earbuds in just one day. Earbuds has expanded into Latin America, Australia, Asia, and even Africa. And most recently, they opened an office outside of London as a European headquarters. The St. Louis-based company exhibits the entrepreneurial capabilities our region has to foster for making St. Louis their starting point to international success. We are proud to honor them with the World Trade Center's 2013 Global Growth Award. Accepting the award today is Earbuds Director of International Sales, Damon Johnson.
Well, thank you so much. That's a little teaser of a new marketing campaign we're launching. Again, my name's Damon Johnson. I want to thank Tim and Dennis and the WTC board for this great honor. Thank you. So in 2008, Earbuds founders Seth Burgett and Rich Daniels set out on a mission to transform the athlete's experience through their unique ergonomic approach to sport earphones. But building the brand wasn't easy. Seth, Rich, and the team spent hundreds of hours standing in cold Marathon Expo tents, knocking on the doors of over 1,200 specialty running stores, and sizing thousands of ears. All this to gain adoption in our core community of athletes. Ultimately, the hard work has paid off, and the model has proven successful. Today, after selling millions of earphones and accessories, Earbuds is the #1 selling sport earphone company in the United States. As we continue our growth in the US, we have experienced similar adoption internationally. The upward trend in running and fitness in general is evident across the globe, and subsequently, the demand for and reception to our product is strong. Today, we are building the international Earbuds brand in the same grassroots approach that we took here in the United States. Through a network of dozens of distributors and a dedicated office in London, Earbuds now realizes sales in over 37 countries internationally. Now these are the partners spending long, cold hours in expo tents, sizing ears, and knocking on specialty running doors. And the hard work is paying off. In markets like the UK, Australia, and Singapore, earbuds growth is mirroring and in some cases outpacing that of the United States. At Earbuds, we're passionate about our product and even more passionate about the athletes who we serve. Thank you again, and we're proud to call St. Louis home.
Thank you, Damon Johnson. My best friend was just visiting from Atlanta, and she bought a pair of earbuds in the airport. And she said, you know, I was thinking of getting them, I wasn't sure, but then I saw they were made in St. Louis, so I bought them. So you see, it's a good selling point. All right, the third and final award this afternoon is the 2013 Global Business Person of the Year Award. Essex Industries is a leading supplier to the aerospace and defense first response, safety, and medical markets. Founded in 1947 by Harold and Sidney Guller in their father's basement, the company has grown to 4 facilities with more than 180,000 square feet of manufacturing space and 350 employees. Through the years, Essex has established a strong reputation for providing unique engineered solutions to customers' problems. And through the years, its Chief Executive Officer, Keith Guller, has placed a priority on developing new market opportunities, including those beyond U.S. borders. In 2011, under Mr. Guller's leadership, Essex embarked on a new strategic direction, identifying 4 core values to use as benchmarks: creativity, competitiveness, collaboration, and control. A major part of this strategic plan was an expanded international sales force, providing better accessibility to its global customers and increasing response time in identifying and seizing new business. And the plan is working, because today Essex operates and sells products in 30 countries. Since 2011, global sales have increased a staggering 50%. And as the second generation of this family-owned company, Mr. Guller began his career at Essex in product assembly. Today, he is leading one of St. Louis's largest privately held companies. For his demonstrated commitment to international sales and bringing that growth back home, we are proud to honor Keith Guller as the World Trade Center's Global Business Person for 2013.
Andy and Danny, I was just informed your day to water the tree is Tuesday. The growth of global highlights of the interconnectedness of people around the world. The distribution of labor is now global, not just local. Nation states are adapting to their changing roles. Companies are exploring the potential of worldwide markets, and workers of the world are producing parts for final assemblies at factories far from their shores. To paraphrase another quote, the sun never sets on the global economy. These words were spoken by Adam Smith in 1776, a Scottish moral philosopher and a pioneer of political economy. Smith is cited as the father of modern economics and is still amongst the most influential thinkers in the field of economics today. My educational background is economics and business, and Adam Smith has left an invisible hand on my outlook and intrigue by the supply and demand of international business and market expansion. The international growth of our company, Essex Industries, is a result of an evolving strategic plan. Over the past 2 years, we have consolidated our operating units into one centralized organization. This enables sales and engineering to seek growth opportunities in new markets, which capitalizes on our design and manufacturing capabilities in the major markets we serve: aerospace and defense, platform controls, aircraft components, life and ground support systems, first response, safety, and medical. In the past year, we have hired over 24 sales and engineering personnel a 33% increase of overall hiring to support our strategic growth. The international sales personnel and expansion of our business has certainly helped us weather the uncertainties of sequestration and volatility of our economy. It is an honor to receive the World Trade Center's International Global Person of the Year Award. I am privileged to be included with the most impressive group of individuals who have received this award in previous years. And I know that I would not be here today without the support of my family and of those with Essex. In addition, I'd like to state and thank the state of Missouri, who has supported us with assistance at the major international air shows. Also, Essex has taken full advantage of the Mo-Step program and has gone with Missouri trade delegations to trade shows in Saudi Arabia, Calgary, Canada, and Hong Kong, all in the past 18 months. This has been made possible through efforts by Missouri's International Trade and Investment Office of the Department of Economic Development. The St. Louis Economic Council has provided us with training, and the World Trade Center, for 12 years of your 20 years, we appreciate your assistance and guidance of contacts and leads in international countries, as well as we've received assistance from Kit Bond Strategies. Our successes have been transitioned to well-established relationships. This award is only made possible by those relationships. All of you from the state, all of us at Essex, and my family. Thank you for this prestigious award.
Congratulations to all of our award winners this afternoon. I now have the distinct honor of introducing today our featured speaker. Mr. Brett Begemann is President and Chief Commercial Officer of a company you may have heard of, Monsanto, a company focused on agricultural innovation for farmers worldwide. During his 30-year career, Mr. Begemann has held a variety of sales, marketing, commercial development, and managerial positions in the U.S. and in international markets. He is a native Missourian and a graduate of the University of Missouri-Columbia. Brett grew up on a grain and livestock farm in central Missouri, which he and his family still operate today. Now, before inviting Brett to the stage, Monsanto has provided a short video to introduce his remarks.
The world we live in is changing. By the end of this day, some 200,000 new people will call Earth home. It's like adding the population of Orlando every day, or Singapore every month. Personal incomes are growing too, and a middle class is emerging in developing markets, adding $5 billion in new purchasing power every day. All this extra cash means that somewhere, someone may be enjoying fresh fruit with an omelet, or drinking a second glass of milk, or enjoying a juicy cheeseburger for the first time. For them, that's a very good day indeed. But it means the world's farmers need to grow more to feed a growing world. More corn and soybeans, more cotton, more fruits and vegetables. But how? Improve agriculture. Help farmers everywhere do more by using better seeds and techniques to produce more on the same amount of land. That's our goal at Monsanto. Our 21,000 people are working every day to help farmers produce more food using fewer resources than ever before. By improving agriculture, we are helping to improve lives, both those of the farmers who grow the food and all of us who rely on their success to feed, clothe, and sustain all of us every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Brett Begemann.
Thanks, Debbie, and Tim and the World Trade Center, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. It's a Fridays are always great days, right, because they're the end of the week. But I got a couple other reasons why this Friday is so special. Tomorrow, the senator and the governor and I are going to go watch our Missouri Tigers go to 4-0 in Columbia. And next week, on the Voice of the Cardinals, we're going to be listening to our beloved Cardinals play in the playoffs again. But it is a great opportunity to be here, but you didn't come here to listen to me talk about the Missouri Tigers or talk about the beloved Cardinals. But I am going to talk about a couple of things that I care really deeply about. Agriculture and my home, our home, here in Missouri in the St. Louis region. What I think is particularly exciting is the future for both agriculture and our region is incredibly bright and increasingly interconnected. As you saw in the opening video, the world we live in is changing. Our planet's becoming more populous, more urban, more affluent, as more people in developing areas of the world are enjoying better wages than ever before and are able to improve their quality of life in many ways as a result. These are trends that are reshaping every aspect of the world we live in today and are influencing the world our children and grandchildren will ultimately inherit tomorrow as well. Perhaps no other industry feels the weight of these trends more acutely than agriculture. And I would argue perhaps nowhere does the opportunity to capitalize on these trends shine brighter than right here at home in Missouri and in the Gateway City. We've certainly seen and felt this at my company, Monsanto, a company 100% focused on agriculture and the success of farmers around the world. I'm going to take a moment to underline this point. Our single focus at Monsanto is on agriculture and the success of farmers around the world. For more than 100 years, a company named Monsanto has called St. Louis home. Believe it or not, that's longer than Ted Drewes or toasted ravioli. So we're proud to be St. Louis grown. And over this century, the company's made a wide variety of products, from carpets and glass to plastics and sweeteners, ag chemicals, and many others over the years. Since 2001, however, Monsanto's only business has been agriculture, offering better seeds, seeds protected by biotechnology, and crop protection products like Roundup to farmers around the world. From the heartland of the upper Midwest to the heart of Eastern Europe, from the rich soil of the Mississippi Delta and Mato Grosso in Brazil, to the plains of sub-Saharan Africa, every dollar we earn comes from an investment a farmer makes in one or more of our products somewhere in the world. Back in 2001, our business was $5.5 billion in revenue with a market capitalization of $9 billion, and we employed 14,000 people around the world, with the majority of our business coming from here in the United States. Today, we're about $13 billion company. Our market cap is $56 billion, and we've more than 21,000 people around the world, and 4,500 of those call St. Louis their hometown. Our headquarters here in St. Louis is just one of more than 500 locations in 60 countries around the world dedicated to serving millions of farmers with better seeds and products every year. And this for the first time since we became a company focused entirely on agriculture. Our business was nearly evenly split between domestic and international revenue, clearly showing the value of our product offered to farmers both here and at home and around the world. Agriculture is truly a global business, and one is more focused, more and more technologically driven and sophisticated everywhere in the world. At the same time, food, as well as where it comes from and how it's produced, are topics that are now part of everyday conversations with friends, families, neighbors, and other acquaintances. I believe interest in both areas will continue to grow, and frankly, I welcome discussions around both to help talk about the important contributions that farmers, our customers, play in keeping our food and food supply abundant, safe, and affordable for everyone. I also look forward to talking about the important role that innovation in agriculture plays in keeping it that way as well. I've had the opportunity to walk the fields with farmers on 6 different continents. It's one of the favorite parts of my job. These are bright, entrepreneurial people, and whether they're farming several thousand acres in Missouri, Illinois, or Iowa, with a GPS-guided tractor, or using their hands in a garden hoe on a piece of land smaller than the suburban backyards in India, China, or Africa. The world's farmers are proud of what they do. They know they are responsible for feeding their families and a growing global population. They're hardworking men and women, and I should stress that most of the world's farmers are women. They want innovation and new tools, like better seeds, to help them accomplish their goals. That's what is so satisfying about the work that we do. Inside a simple seed, a tiny seed smaller than my fingertip, are thousands of hours of research, science, and testing from hundreds of people across our company, all focused on helping farmers get more out of their fields. From better seed genetics to biotechnology, the seeds help farmers do what they do better. And in return, their production helps them feed and clothe their families and all of us in this room and around the world. It's really cool stuff and exciting that it can benefit farmers of all sizes around the globe. But I have to be honest. Monsanto, as well as our industry and farmers, have not always done a good job telling that story, articulating why we need to continue to innovate, to attract new ideas and talent to better develop products for growers. I'd also say that I don't think we've done a good job of listening to what society wants to know and understand about where food comes from and what we're doing to support farmers and ultimately people. This has to change. And it's one of the reasons that I'm pleased to join you today to talk about the future and pledge our support, my personal support, in opening up the dialogue around food, farmers, agriculture, and innovation. Because it's clear that the need for innovation across agriculture and so many other industries is essential for our future. Agriculture is experiencing an incredible renaissance, from cutting-edge science focused on developing better seed that can tolerate drought, to improved information technology on the farm that gives farmers a new level of precision never seen before. Agriculture is vibrant, growing, innovative industry that has the ability to change the world and improve lives forever. And right here at home in St. Louis and the Show Me State, I believe we are uniquely positioned to not only participate in this global renaissance taking shape in agriculture, but I believe we have an opportunity to lead its development for the future, creating new jobs and opportunity for people, attracting sharp, innovative minds to our community from all over the country and all over the world. This region has a rich history and a connection to agriculture and agribusiness. The mighty Mississippi today transports roughly 60% of the U.S. grain exports. And within a 500-mile radius of St. Louis, more than 80% of the U.S. soybean crop and 75% of the U.S. corn crop are grown. This represents nearly half of all the U.S. production by value, a whopping $130 billion, all within an easy day's drive of where we stand today. And this value delivers economic impact and jobs. The St. Louis Agribusiness Club estimates that today, roughly 20% of the jobs here in our region, or an estimated 265,000 jobs, are connected to agriculture. But what's more, the outlook for new jobs in agriculture, highly skilled, good-paying jobs, is bright for the next several years as well. A recent study by Purdue University found that agriculture, food, and natural resources sector of the U.S. economy will generate an estimated 54,000 annual openings for individuals with degrees or advanced degrees in related areas in the next few years. The unfortunate side of this same study is that it estimated that roughly half may go unfilled because of lack of qualified candidates. Think of that. An estimated 25,000 jobs annually unclaimed because of a lack of qualified talent. This is a trend we're beginning to see reflected in other industries as well: aerospace, medicine, engineering. And it's a trend that must be reversed if we're to continue growing and leading as a community, as a region, and as a country. From my view, developing and attracting biologists, geneticists, agronomists, engineers, computer analysts, and other highly skilled talent requires an investment and a focus in both educating young people for jobs of tomorrow, as well as attracting new talent to our community from across the country and across the globe. This focus is especially important in the so-called STEM fields of education. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Research of high school students shows that too many young people feel detached from these areas of study. And unfortunately, this same research suggests this is particularly true with girls and young women. At Monsanto, we know and understand the potential impact of this issue, not only on our business, but on agriculture, on the other innovative industries, and on the communities more broadly. And we're working to do our part. It's one of the reasons why we invest in educational programs with youth groups like 4-H and FFA that reach millions of young people around the world. We've also developed an international scholars program in partnership with Texas A&M focused on attracting new research talent globally to rice and wheat, two of the world's most widely grown crops, but more importantly, crops that produce the most calories consumed by people around the world, particularly in the developing world. In fact, in June of this year, we committed an additional $3 million to continue this innovative and important fellowship program. The future of so many industries, including my own, will demand the best talent and innovation from around the world to create new discoveries that will benefit people. This will require all of us: companies, organizations, communities, governments, academia, and society as a whole, to be open to new ideas, perspectives, and even cultures from around the world that will enrich our businesses and communities together, to listen more and to understand what might be possible. But this challenge, or should I say opportunity, for us and our region is bigger than any one company, any one organization, or any one university. Developing, attracting, and retaining the leaders of tomorrow will require unique collaborations and partnerships focused on the future. It'll require us to engage with students and youth even earlier than before, and to open ourselves up to new ways of thinking that come from an increasingly global point of view. This community, this region, this state has never shied away from a good challenge. And we have some incredible resources to draw upon. World-class research institutions like the University of Missouri System, Washington University, St. Louis University, the Danforth Center, Missouri Botanical Garden, and the list goes on and on. But these gems, these resources, require sustained investment. And in a time of budget constraints, now more than ever, we need to protect and preserve our future by investing in the ability to deliver new ideas for tomorrow. And I think we're all well positioned to succeed. We know the demand for innovation is there, and we know the need for talent is imminent. At Monsanto, we're committed. And I'd say we're all in and believe it can be done. Just west of here, work is underway to begin construction on the expansion of our Chesterfield Village Research Center. The original facility was built back in the mid-1980s, and since that time, it's been one of the largest single plant science facilities in the world. With the support of many of our local and state elected officials, many of who are in the room today, we committed to investing an additional $400 million into this facility because we believe the future of Monsanto and the future of the region go hand in hand. Through this expansion and the continued growth of our business, we anticipate adding another 675 jobs to our research center here at home, but more importantly, significantly adding to our capacity to drive our research capabilities around the world. St. Louis is our home at Monsanto, and we are proud to be St. Louis grown. So as I bring my thoughts today to a close, I want to end where I began. I'm passionate about Missouri, and I'm passionate about agriculture. This is an incredibly important time in our world. We live on a planet that is growing bigger every day, reaching 9 billion people in our children's lifetime, asking, or I could argue demanding, more from agriculture and farmers, straining our natural resources like water and soil, and questioning our ability to produce enough food to feed the people. Today, 1 billion people go to bed hungry. And there are many different opinions and points of view on why this happens and what we should do to help. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the expert in this area, and I respect those who are, as well as their points of view. As a farm kid from mid-Missouri, and as a businessman who serves farmers, I focus on what I know. And what I know is that these billion people that go to bed hungry every night, the majority are farmers in the developing world. I think this cannot and should not happen. We need every farmer everywhere to be as productive as possible to feed our growing world. I am open to conversations with anyone about what opinions and different types of farming, including organic and conventional or others, can produce food. I'm open to this as long as among those options and choices are the best tools that science and technology can bring to them, including biotechnology. The time for looking backwards in agriculture has passed, and I think the world needs us to move forwards. I'm excited about what the future holds for our business, our industry, and our region. I'm thrilled about the potential agriculture holds for sharp, innovative people and the work they can do to feed, clothe, and sustain our world. We look forward to partnering with this community and others as we continue to work to bring better solutions together for tomorrow. Thanks for your time today, and thanks for the opportunity to speak to this very important group. Thank you.
Mr. Brett Begemann, before he leaves the stage, we have a special gift for you from World Trade Center, and it's a little too heavy to be seeds or garden gloves or something, so thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our program. I would like to say on behalf of World Trade Center St. Louis, thank you so much for being here for the 20th Growing Global. Go back to the office, close some deals, have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the 21st next year. Thank you all.